everyone, Rose here, and in this video we're going to break down a track by Ravenbush, featuring extensive use of mixed drums. Let's dive in. In this analysis, we'll focus on how mixed drums can enhance various types of drum parts, offering different flavors of processing throughout the track. For the best listening experience, we recommend using headphones. Let's get started. To kick things off, let's listen to an excerpt of the full track. Since mixed drums is a drum processing tool, we'll focus on each individual drum track. There are 5 different drum parts in the track. Let's check out the first one by listening to it. What we have here is your typical indie pop drum part, with snares hitting consistently on 2 and 4, and a few ghost kick notes adding rhythmic interest at the end of each bar. Now, let's hear how the track changes when we enable mixed drums. A total revamp. As we can hear, the drums become much louder without actually changing the levels. Looking at the signal chain, this preset lifts the highs, textures the mids, and adds subtle trends in shaping. It also brings in bright reverb and deep low-ratio decking for movement. In the low end, Op Amp 21 adds warmth without significantly altering the transients, while the mid-high range gets tape saturation treatment with a triad analog distortion model and a slightly sharper transient attack. The second drum part comes in right after the intro, introducing a very different feel. Much more crackle and dust, paired with a newly introduced keys melody. Let's listen to it without mixed drums first. Now let's apply the instant lo-fi preset and hear how it changes the drum energy. This preset brings in a lot of vinyl crackle and dustiness. The low-end shaper's body has been reduced, with the warmth parameter fully engaged, while the mid-range is enriched with hard clip distortion that works alongside increased transients to emphasize attack and body. The final touch comes from the reverb, which lifts the drum into a more abstract, atmospheric realm. Drum part number 3 enters after a short breakdown and helps introduce a new lead and bass line. This is a brand new drum break with slightly more energy. It serves as a build-up, leading the listener into another section of the track. The low-end transient attack is enhanced, while some of the body is removed to make space for the bass line. Rectifier adds grit and noise to the mid and high frequencies. The transients in this section are shaped similarly to those in the low end. Part 4 reuses the same drum part as the previous one, but thanks to a completely different mixed drums treatment, it's totally transformed, making it sound like it's not even coming from the same source. This preset automates key parameters to create tension. Mid, high gain, tape level, distortion level, and distortion crossover all gradually increase over time. Mid-high processing introduces tape overdrive after a few bars and uses the analog distortion model set to thick. This enhances cymbals and hi-hats, intensifying the drum sound. A convolution reverb working between 170 Hz and 2000 Hz adds breathing space to balance the harsh tonal color. Finally, drum part number 5 features electronic drums that appear near the end, paired with a melancholic keys melody to close things out. Here's how they sound dry. What we have is a 909 kick paired with dynamic shakers and a layered metallic snare. This structure is transformed as soon as we add bass drums. The change is clear. The kick is pushed forward, the shakers give way to irregular hi-hats, and the snare gets a shorter decay. It ends with automation on the space send level and tape delay feedback, creating a spacey fade-out effect for the track. This is achieved by enhancing low-end transients, adding pentoed distortion to the mid and high ranges, increasing the shaper's attack by 6 decibels, and removing most of the body. And that's a wrap. Big thanks to Ravenbush for letting us use this session. Hopefully, this breakdown shows how mixed drums can transform various types of drum sources depending on your production needs. Whether you're going for a complete revamp or just a bit of added color, this tool can take you a long way. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.